A Worker Compensation Guide. Chapter 1. A Workers' Compensation Guide. Workers' Compensation Info. Except for federal employees, coal miners, harbor workers, and longshoremen, each state has its own particular laws regarding workers' compensation, which is basically aid for people who suffer job-related injuries such as the job aggravates a pre-existing health condition. Injuries caused on the job, in the workplace, during lunch breaks and company-sponsored recreation events. Diseases such as black lung for coal miners, lead poisoning for plumbers, etc. Stress and mental illness caused by the job. Workers' compensation is often required by law for any business that has several employees or more. There are three types of WC: temporary, permanent, death. Many business owners get workers' compensation insurance to protect themselves for injuries caused by their own negligence. This coverage provides medical, hospital and disability income benefits for on-the-job injuries or illnesses. Certain injuries are not covered, like injuries sustained during horseplay, while intoxicated, self-inflicted, while running a personal errand during a break, and transportation to and from work unless the employer is specifically responsible for covering those expenses. The pay scale is typically 75% of the regular salary. Even if you're an independent contractor or just temporary labor, you can still collect damages if the injury was caused by straight-out negligence. By law, an employee who files a claim for workers' compensation is not allowed to be fired or otherwise demoted or derided for doing it. A claim must be filed in a timely fashion, and the employer has some rights in choosing a cheaper physician if the one the employee is using is too expensive. Workers' compensation is a double-edged sword. Employees with real injuries need assistance, but business owners and the insurance companies are very wary of worker compensation fraud. An employee who is legitimately injured should find a good personal injury lawyer to get what he can out of the deal. Most personal injury lawyers work on contingency with nothing up front and 30% of all damages awarded. These cases are some of the biggest monetary award cases around, although the trend is changing due to a backlash against high awards in general. On the other hand, there are many unscrupulous workers out there who try to scam the system with phony claims. If you're a business owner and an employee files a large claim against you, it might be worthwhile to hire a PI to get some video surveillance of the so-called injured guy doing something physical. Worker compensation websites: dol.gov/esa/reg/compliance/aucp/wc.htm, dol.gov/esa/reg/statutes/aucp/stwclaw/stwclaw.htm, bls.gov, Census of Fatal Occupational Injuries, calchamber.com/gate/cbc/California-workers-compensation, California Workers' Compensation Law, compensation-explained.com, employment-law.freeadvice.com/workers_comp, en.wikipedia.org/wiki/workers_compensation, worker-comp-law.com, law.cornell.edu/topics/workers_compensation.html, workcompcentral.com, workerscompensation.com, workers-compensation-news.com, workerscompensider.com, workinjury.com, California Workers' Compensation Law, workinjury.net, workinjuryhelp.com, California Work Injury Help Site, workinjurylaw.info, National Foundation for Unemployment, Compensation and Workers' Compensation, 1331 Pennsylvania Avenue, NW, number 1500 N Tower, Washington, D.C. 20004, 202-682-1517, uwcstrategy.org, Workers' Compensation Research Institute, 95 Massachusetts Avenue, Cambridge, Massachusetts 02139, 617-661-9274, wcrinet.org. Worker compensation lawyers. attorneypages.com/535, find worker compensation attorneys, lawyers, and law firms. walklaw.com/workers_compensation.html, Iowa. adleranadler.law.com/workers_s_comp.htm. aggressivelegalservices.com. findgreatlawyers.com. lawyersincorporated.com. lawyerviews.com/personalinjury/pages/workplaceinjurylawyers.html. personalinjurylawyer.com/workcomp.cfm. Worker compensation databases. Use the following databases for a fee to check up on prospective employees or current employees filing worker compensation claims to see if these people have a habit of filing such claims. agencyrecords.com, 800-777-6655, criminal, driver, work comp, etc. avert.com, 800-367-5933, credit, workers comp, etc. ifa-america.com, 800-592-1433, workers compensation. informus.com, 800-364-8380, workers compensation, etc. tuesdays.com, 800-853-3228, employment screening, does credit, criminal, driver's records and worker compensation claim records. usdatalink.com. Worker compensation insurance for business owners. Workers' compensation insurance is mandatory by law in most states when you have W-2 employees. It provides medical and disability coverage for on-the-job injuries or work-related illness. In many areas, the government controls worker compensation claims. Employers pay into a government-controlled fund and could deduct a percentage of employee paychecks for this fund. In states without a government program, employers buy policies from private insurance companies. smart-comp.com, a nationwide provider of workers' compensation sales and service software. accidentfund.com, workers' compensation insurance. aimmutual.com, Burlington, Massachusetts, USA, provider of compensation insurance. business.com/directory/law/practice_areas/labor_and/employment_law/workers_compensation/insurance. business1stinsurance.com. buyerzone.com/business_insurance/workers_comp. daminsurance.com. free-insurance-quote.org/workers-compensation/workers-compensation-insurance.html. lowquotes.com. workerscompensation.com. workers-compensation-insurance.com. workers-compensation-insurances.com. Worker compensation websites at uwcstrategy.org/about/links. It's c.state.md.us, Information Technology Support Center, ITSC, UI website. stats.bls.gov, Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS. us.jobs, direct employers. dol.gov, U.S. Department of Labor. IAIABC.org, International Association of Industrial Accident Boards and Commissions, IAIABC. IAWPOnline.org, International Association of Workforce Professionals, IAWP. NICE.org, the National Association of Insurance Commissioners, NAIC. NASWA.org, National Association of State Workforce Agencies, NASWA. NCCI.com, the National Council on Compensation Insurance, NCCI. WCRINet.org, Workers' Compensation Resource Institute, WCRI. Chapter 2. United States Federal and State Worker Compensation Offices. U.S. Federal Offices of Worker Compensation Programs. Office of Workers' Compensation Programs. OAP/DLHWC. U.S. Department of Labor, ESA. Room C4315. 200 Constitution Avenue NW. Washington, D.C. 20210. 202-219-8572. dol.gov/esa/public/abouts/org/aucp_org.htm. dol.gov/agency/aucp/feca/contacts/fec account. District Number 1. OAP/DLHWC. U.S. Department of Labor, ESA. 1 Congress St. 11th FL. Boston, Massachusetts 02114. 617-565-2103. MA, ME, NH, VT, RINCT. District No. 2 OAP/DLHWC. U.S. Department of Labor, ESA. POG 249. 201 Varick Street, Room 750. New York, New York 10014. 212-337-2033. New York, New Jersey, and Puerto Rico. District Number 3 OAP/DLHWC. U.S. Department of Labor, ESA. POB 7336. Gateway Building, Room 13180. 3535 Market Street. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania 19104. 215-596-5570. PA, DA and WV. District Number 4 OAP/DLHWC. U.S. Department of Labor, ESA. Federal Building, Room 1026. 31 Hopkins Plaza. Baltimore, Maryland 21201. 410-962-3677. MD and DC. District Number 5 OAP/DLHWC. U.S. Department of Labor, ESA. Federal Building, Room 212. 200 Granby Mall. Norfolk, Virginia 23510. 804-441-3071. Virginia. District Number 6 OAP/DLHWC. U.S. Department of Labor, ESA. Edward Ball Building, FL. 10. 214 Hogan Street. Jacksonville, Florida 32202. 904-791-2881. FL, NC, KY, TN, SC, GA, AL, and MS. District No. 7 OAP/DLHWC. U.S. Department of Labor, ESA. Room 13032. 701 Loyola Avenue. New Orleans, Louisiana 70113. 504-589-3664. Law and AR. District Number 8 OAP/DLHWC. U.S. Department of Labor, ESA. 1 South Green Building, Room 105. 12600 North Featherwood Drive. Houston, Texas 77034. 713-481-9750. TX, OK and NM. District Number 10 OAP/DLHWC. U.S. Department of Labor, ESA. Room 800. 230 South Dearborn Street. Chicago, Illinois 60604. 312-353-8883. IL, IN, IA, KS, ME, MN, MO, NE, O and WI. District No. 13 OAP/DLHWC. U.S. Department of Labor, ESA. POG 3770. 71 Stevenson Street, Room 210. San Francisco, California 94119. 415-744-6869. AZ, NV, and that part of the state of California. North of the northern boundaries of the counties of San Luis Obispo, Kern, and San Bernardino. District No. 14 Oak/DLHWC. U.S. Department of Labor, ESA. 1111 3rd. Ave, S. 620. Seattle, Washington, 98101. 206-442-4471. AK, CO, ID, MT, ND, SD or UT, WA and WY. Dallas Office. OP. U.S. Department of Labor, ESA. Griffin Square Building, Room 407. 525 Griffin Square. Dallas, Texas, 75202. 214-767-4712. District No. 15 Oak/DLHWC. U.S. Department of Labor, ESA. POG 50209, Room 5108. 300 Ala Moana Boulevard. Honolulu, Hawaii, 96850. 808-551-1983. District Number 18 Oak/DLHWC. U.S. Department of Labor, ESA. S. 720. 401E. Ocean Boulevard. Long Beach, California, 90802. 213-514-6226. That part of the state of California south of the northern boundaries of the counties of San Luis Obispo, Kern, and San Bernardino. District Number 40 Labor Standards. D.C. Department of Employment Services. 1200 Upshur Street, NW. Washington, D.C. 20011. 202-576-6265. Processes cases under the District of Columbia. Workmen's Compensation Act of 1928. State Workers' Compensation Websites. Alabama. dir.alabama.gov/WC, Alabama Department of Industrial Relations. Alaska. labor.state.ak.us/WC, Alaska Division of Workers' Compensation. Arizona. ica.state.az.us, Arizona Industrial Commission. Arkansas. oxy.state.ar.us, Arkansas Workers' Compensation Commission. California. dir.ca.gov/DWC, California Department of Industrial Relations. Colorado. colorado.gov/cs/satellite/cdle-workcomp/cdle/1248095315979, Colorado Department of Labor and Employment. Connecticut. wcc.state.ct.us, Connecticut Workers' Compensation Commission. Delaware. state.de.us/dhss/dhss.htm, Delaware Office of Workers' Compensation. District of Columbia. does.dc.gov/does/cwp/view, A1232, Q, 537428.asp, District of Columbia Department of Employees Services. Florida. myfloridacfo.com/WC, Florida Division of Workers' Compensation. Georgia. sbwc.georgia.gov/portal/site/sbwc, Georgia State Board of Workers' Compensation. Hawaii. hawaii.gov/labor/dcd/aboutwc.shtml, Hawaii Department of Labor and Industrial Relations. Idaho. iic.idaho.gov, Idaho Industrial Commission. Illinois. state.il.us/agency/2c, Illinois Workers' Compensation Commission. Indiana. in.gov/WCB, Indiana Workers' Compensation Board. Iowa. iowaworkforce.org/WC, Iowa Division of Workers' Compensation. Kansas. dol.ks.gov/WC/about.html, Kansas Department of Labor. Kentucky. labor.ky.gov/workers claims, Kentucky Department of Workers' Compensation Claims. Louisiana. laurcas.net/workerscomp/OC_main menu.asp, Louisiana Workforce Commission. Maine. maine.gov/WCB, Maine Workers' Compensation Board. Maryland. wcc.state.md.us, Maryland Workers' Compensation Commission. Massachusetts. mass.gov/page ID =LWD agency landing &L =4 &L0 home &L1 government &L2 departments +& divisions +%(28 EOLWD %29 L3 department +of industrial accidents SID LWD, Massachusetts Labor and Workforce Development. Michigan. michigan.gov/WCA, Michigan Workers' Compensation Agency. Minnesota. doli.state.mn.us/workcomp.asp, Minnesota Department of Labor and Industry. Mississippi. mwcc.state.ms.us, Mississippi Workers' Compensation Commission. Missouri. labor.mo.gov/DWC, Missouri Department of Labor. Montana. wcc.dli.mt.gov, Montana Workers' Compensation Court. Nebraska. wcc.ne.gov, Nebraska Workers' Compensation Court. Nevada. dirweb.state.nv.us/wcs/wcs.htm, Nevada Department of Business and Industry. New Hampshire. labor.state.nh.us/workers_compensation.asp, New Hampshire Department of Labor. New Jersey. lwd.dol.state.nj.us/labor/wc/wc_index.html, New Jersey Department of Labor and Workforce Development. New Mexico. workerscomp.state.nm.us, New Mexico Workers' Compensation Administration. New York. wcb.state.ny.us, New York Workers' Compensation Board. North Carolina. ic.nc.gov, North Carolina Industrial Commission. North Dakota. workforcesafety.com, North Dakota Workforce Safety and Insurance. Ohio. ohiobwc.com/default.aspx, Ohio Bureau of Workers' Compensation. Oklahoma. owcc.state.ok.us, Oklahoma Workers' Compensation Court. Oregon. cbs.state.or.us/wcd/index.html, Oregon Workers' Compensation Division. Pennsylvania. cbs.state.or.us/wcd/index.html, Pennsylvania Workers' Compensation Division. Puerto Rico. cipr.gobierno.pr, Puerto Rico Industrial Commission. Rhode Island. dlt.ri.gov/wc, Rhode Island Department of Labor and Training. South Carolina. wcc.state.sc.us, South Carolina Workers' Compensation Commission. South Dakota. dol.sd.gov/workerscomp/default.aspx, South Dakota Department of Labor. Tennessee. tn.gov/labor-wfd/wcomp.html, Tennessee Department of Labor and Workforce Development. Texas. tdi.state.tx.us/wc/index.wc.html, Texas Department of Insurance. U.S. Virgin Islands. vidle.gov/units/workers_compensation/workers_comp.htm, U.S. Virgin Islands Department of Labor. Utah. laborcommission.utah.gov/industrial accidents/index.html, Utah Labor Commission. Vermont. labor.vermont.gov/business/workers-compensation/tbd/114/default.aspx, Vermont Department of Labor. Virginia. vwc.state.va.us/portal/vwc-website, Virginia Workers' Compensation Commission. Washington. lni.wa.gov, Washington Department of Labor and Industries. West Virginia. wvinsurance.gov/default.aspx?tbd=73, West Virginia Offices of the Insurance Commissioner. Wisconsin. dwd.wisconsin.gov/wc, Wisconsin Department of Workforce Development. Wyoming. doe.wi.gov/about-us/safety-and-compensation/pages/default.aspx, Wyoming Workers' Safety and Compensation. State Workers' Compensation Offices. Alabama. Industrial Relations Building. Montgomery, Alabama 36130. Alaska. epub 25512. Juneau, Alaska 99802. Arizona. 3031 North 2nd Street. Phoenix, Arizona 85012. Arkansas. 625 Marshall Street. Little Rock, Arkansas 72201. California. 1275 Market Street. San Francisco, California 94103. dir.ca.gov/dwc. dir.ca.gov/dir/workers_compensation. eblegal.com, a California law firm which handles workers' compensation, injuries at work, cases. CAA.org, the California Applicants Attorneys Association. WCAB.net, access to the State of California database of litigated workers' compensation cases. Colorado. 1313 Sherman Street. Number 314. Denver, Colorado 80203. Connecticut. 1890 Dixwell Avenue. Hamden, Connecticut 06514. Delaware. 820 North French Street. Wilmington, Delaware 19801. D.C., City of Washington. epub 56098. Washington, D.C. 20011. Florida. 1321 Executive Center, DDR. Tallahassee, Florida 32399. Georgia. 1 CNN Center. Atlanta, Georgia 30303. Hawaii. 830 Punchbowl Street. Honolulu, Hawaii 96813. Idaho. 317 Main Street. Boise, Idaho 83720. Illinois. 100 W. Randolph. Chicago, Illinois 60611. Indiana. 400 West Washington Street. Indianapolis, in 466,204. Iowa. 1000 East Grand Street. Des Moines, Iowa 50319. Kansas. 900 Jackson. Number 651. Topeka, Kansas 66612. Kentucky. 1270 Lewis Village Road. Frankfort, Kentucky 40601. Louisiana. epub 94040. Baton Rouge, Louisiana 70804. Maine. 27 State House. Augusta, Maine 04333. Maine.gov/WCB. Maryland. 6 North Liberty Street. Baltimore, Maryland 21201. Massachusetts. 600 Washington Street. Boston, Massachusetts 02111. Michigan. epub 30016. Lansing, Michigan 48909. Minnesota. 443 Lafayette Road. St. Paul, Minnesota 55155. workerscomp.state.mn.us. Mississippi. epub 5300. Jackson, Mississippi 39216. Missouri. epub 58. Jefferson City, Missouri 65102. Montana. 5S. Last Chance Gulch. Helena, Montana 59604. Nebraska. OB 98908. Lincoln, Nebraska 65809. Nevada. 1390 South Curry Street. Carson City, Nevada 98710. New Hampshire. 19 Pillsbury Street. Concord, New Hampshire 03301. New Jersey. 381 Star Office Building. Trenton, New Jersey 08625. New Mexico. epub 27198. Albuquerque, New Mexico 87125. New York. 199 Church Street. NYC 10007. North Carolina. 430 North Salisbury Street. Raleigh, North Carolina 27611. North Dakota. 4007 North State Street. Bismarck, North Dakota 58501. Ohio. 246 North High Street. Columbus, Ohio 43215. Oklahoma. 1915 N. Stiles. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma 73105. Oregon. Labor and Industry BLDDG. Salem, Oregon 97310. state.or.us/external/WCD. Pennsylvania. 1171 South Cameron Street. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania 17104. Rhode Island. 610 Manton Avenue. Providence, Rhode Island 02909. South Carolina. 1615 Marion Street. Columbia, South Carolina 29202. South Dakota. 700 Governor's Drive. Pierre, South Dakota 57501. Tennessee. 501 Union Building. Nashville, Tennessee 37219. Texas. 200 East Riverside Drive. Austin, Texas 78704. Utah. epub 510250. SLC, Utah 84151. Vermont. 120 State Street. Montpelier, Vermont 05602. Virginia. epub 1794. Richmond, VA 233220. Washington. General Administration Building. Olympia, Washington 98504. West Virginia. 601 Morris Street. Charleston, West Virginia 25301. Wisconsin. epub 7901. Madison, Wisconsin 53707. Wyoming. 122 West 25th Street. Cheyenne, Wyoming 82002. Chapter 3. Worker Compensation Associations and Organizations from the agapecenter.com/organizations/workers-compensation.htm. Workers' Compensation Associations and Organizations. AASCIF.org, American Association of State Compensation Insurance Funds, ASIF. IAIABC.org, International Association of Industrial Accident Boards and Commissions, IAIABC. NatCouncil.com, National Council of Self-Insurers, NCSI, Workers' Compensation. NCCI.com, National Council on Compensation Insurance, NCCI Holdings. SIGFA.org, Self-Insurance Guarantee Funds of America, SIGFA, Workers' Compensation. WCCIonline.org, Workers' Compensation Claims Association, WCCA. WCIO.org, Workers' Compensation Insurance Organizations, WCIO. WCRINet.org, Workers' Compensation Research Institute, WCRI. U.S. State Workers' Compensation Organizations. SAWCA.com, Southern Association of Workers' Compensation Administrators, SAWCA. Alabama. ASIAL.com, Alabama Self-Insurers Association, Asia, Workers' Compensation. dir.alabama.gov/WC, Alabama Workers' Compensation Division. Arizona. StateFund.com, SCF of Arizona, provider of workers' compensation insurance. Arkansas. ArcSelfInsure.com, Arkansas Self-Insurers Association, Asia, Workers' Compensation. Oxy.state.ar.us, Arkansas Workers' Compensation Commission, AWCC. California. CAA.org, California Applicants Attorneys Association, CAAA, Workers' Compensation. CaseLFinsurers.com, California Self-Insurers Association, CSIA, Workers' Compensation. CWCI.org, California Workers' Compensation Institute, CWCI. dir.ca.gov/chswc/chswc.html, Commission on Health and Safety and Workers' Compensation, CHSWC. SCIF.com, State Compensation Insurance Fund, SCIF, Workers' Compensation. dir.ca.gov/WCAB/WCAB.htm, Workers' Compensation Appeals Board, WCAB. WCIRBonline.org, Workers' Compensation Insurance Rating Bureau, USIRB. Colorado. Pinacol.com, Pinnacle, provider of workers' compensation insurance. Connecticut. WCC.state.ct.us, Connecticut Workers' Compensation Commission, CWCC. Delaware. DCRB.com, Delaware Compensation Rating Bureau, DCRB, Workers' Compensation. Florida. FSIGA.org, Florida Self-Insurers Guarantee Association, FSIGA, Workers' Compensation. Georgia. GAGuarantee.com, Georgia Self-Insurers Guarantee Trust Fund, SIGF, Workers' Compensation. Gainty.org/SBWC, Georgia State Board of Workers' Compensation. Hawaii. HEMIC.com, Hawaii Employers Mutual Insurance Company, HEMIC, provider of workers' compensation insurance. Idaho. State.id.us/ISIF, Idaho State Insurance Fund, ISIF, provider of workers' compensation insurance. Indiana. ICRB.net, Indiana Compensation Rating Bureau, ICRB, Workers' Compensation. IN.gov/workcomp, Indiana Workers' Compensation Board. IWCI.org, Indiana Workers' Compensation Institute, IWCI. Kansas. hr.state.ks.us/wc/html/wc.htm, Kansas Division of Workers' Compensation. KSIA.org, Kansas Self-Insurers Association, KSIA, Workers' Compensation. wcboard.hr.state.ks.us, Workers' Compensation Appeals Board, WCAB. Louisiana. LASIE.org, Louisiana Association of Self-Insured Employers, LASI, Workers' Compensation. Maine. State.me.us/WCB, Maine Workers' Compensation Board, MWCB. Massachusetts. State.ma.us/DIA, Massachusetts Department of Industrial Accidents, MDIA, Workers' Compensation. Mass.gov/WCAC, Massachusetts Workers' Compensation Advisory Council, WCAC. WCRIBMA.org, Workers' Compensation Rating and Inspection Bureau of Massachusetts, BCRIPMA. Michigan. MikeHSelfinsurers.org, Michigan Self-Insurers Association, MSIA, Workers' Compensation. Minnesota. MNSIA.com, Minnesota Self-Insurers Association, MSIA, Workers' Compensation. Mississippi. MWCC.state.ms.us, Mississippi Workers' Compensation Commission, MWCC. Missouri. MOMSIA.com, Missouri Self-Insurers Association, MSIA, Workers' Compensation. Nevada. NVSIA.org, Nevada Self-Insurers Association, NSIA, Workers' Compensation. New Mexico. state.nm.us/WCA, New Mexico Workers' Compensation Administration, WCA. New York. NewYorkCIRB.org, New York Compensation Insurance Rating Board, NYSIRB, Workers' Compensation. NYSCLFinsurance.com, New York Self-Insurers Association, NYSIA, Workers' Compensation. WCB.state.ny.us, New York State Workers' Compensation Board, NYSWCB. North Carolina. NCSIGA.org, North Carolina Self-Insurance Guarantee Association, NCSIGA, Workers' Compensation. Ohio. NWOSIA.org, Northwestern Ohio Self-Insurers Association, NWOSIA, Workers' Compensation. OhioBWC.com, Ohio Bureau of Workers' Compensation, OBWC. OSIOhio.org, Ohio Self-Insurers Association, OSIA, Workers' Compensation. SEGOOhio.org, Self-Insurers Group of Ohio, SEGO, Workers' Compensation. Oregon. cbs.state.or.us/WCO, Oregon Ombudsman for Injured Workers, OOIW, Workers' Compensation. OSIA.com, Oregon Self-Insurers Association, OSIA, Workers' Compensation. cbs.state.or.us/external/wcb/index.html, Oregon Workers' Compensation Board, OWCB. OregonWCD.org, Oregon Workers' Compensation Division, OWCD. Online PWC.org, Professionals in Workers' Compensation, PWC, Oregon Chapter. Pennsylvania. PCRB.com, Pennsylvania Compensation Rating Bureau, PCRB, Workers' Compensation. Scinet.org, Pennsylvania Self-Insurers Association, PSIA, Workers' Compensation. Rhode Island. dlt.state.ri.us/WC, Rhode Island Division of Workers' Compensation. South Carolina. mycgov.com/SCOA, South Carolina State Accident Fund, Workers' Compensation. South Dakota. state.sd.us/dole/dlm/dlmhome.htm, South Dakota Division of Labor and Management. Tennessee. state.tn.us/laborwfd/wcomp.html, Tennessee Workers' Compensation Division. Texas. twcc.state.tx.us, Texas Workers' Compensation Commission. Utah. laborcommission.utah.gov/indacc/indacc.htm, Utah Division of Industrial Accidents, Workers' Compensation. Vermont. state.vt.us/labnd/wcindex.htm, Vermont Workers' Compensation Division. Virginia. vwc.state.va.us, Virginia Workers' Compensation Commission, VWCC. Washington. wsiassociation.org, Washington Self-Insurers Association, WSIA, Workers' Compensation. West Virginia. wvsia.com, West Virginia Self-Insurers Association, WVSIA, Workers' Compensation. state.wv.us/script/bep/wc, West Virginia Workers' Compensation Commission, WVWCC. Wyoming. wydoe.state.wy.us/do.asp?ID =9, Wyoming Workers' Safety and Compensation Division. Canada Workers' Compensation Organizations. OCBC.org, Association of Workers' Compensation Boards of Canada, OSPC, Canada, CA. Manitoba. WCB.MB.ca, Workers' Compensation Board, WCB, of Manitoba. Northwest Territories, Canada, CA. WCB.NT.ca, Workers' Compensation Board, WCB, Northwest Territories and Nunavut. Nova Scotia, Canada, CA. gov.ns.ca/WCAT, Workers' Compensation Appeals Tribunal, WCAT. WCB.ns.ca, Workers' Compensation Board, WCB, of Nova Scotia. Nunavut, Canada, CA. WCB.nt.ca, Workers' Compensation Board, WCB, Northwest Territories and Nunavut. Ontario, Canada, CA. WSIAT.on.ca, Ontario Workplace Safety and Insurance Appeals Tribunal, WSIAT. WSIB.on.ca, Ontario Workplace Safety and Insurance Board, WSIB. Prince Edward Island. WCB.pe.ca, Prince Edward Island Workers' Compensation Board. Saskatchewan, Canada, CA. WCBSASK.com, Saskatchewan Workers' Compensation Board, WCB. Yukon, WCB.yk.ca, Yukon Workers' Compensation Health and Safety Board. Chapter 4. A Canada Workers' Compensation Guide. Canadian Workers' Compensation Websites. OCBC.org, Association of Workers' Compensation Boards of Canada. CIWS.ca, Canadian Injured Workers Society. CHRC-CCDP.ca. Human Rights Commission. Canadian Workplace Safety Training Tools for Bosses. Your provincial government should have some workplace safety training info. Damocles.ca, Ottawa, on. SafetyFirstTraining.ca. Staffing-training.com, Toronto, on. TheSafetyBus.com, Industrial Safety Trainers Inc., Ontario, Canada. Canadian Workers' Compensation Websites by Province. Nova Scotia. WCB.ns.ca, 800-870-3331, Workmen's Compensation Board. British Columbia. WorkSafe.bc.ca, Workers' Compensation BC. WorkSafeBC.com. Manitoba. WCB.mb.ca, Workers' Compensation Board of Manitoba. Prince Edward Island. WCB.pe.ca. New Brunswick. WHSCC.nb.ca. Newfoundland and Labrador. WHSCC.nf.ca. Northwest Territories. WCB.nt.ca. Ontario. WSIB.on.ca. interctoronto.org. Quebec. CSSD.qc.ca. Saskatchewan. WCBSASK.com. Yukon. WCB.yk.ca. Canadian Workers' Compensation Boards and Tribunals. AppealsCommission.ab.ca, Alberta Workers' Compensation Board, Appeals Commission. ocbc.org/english/default.asp, the Association of Workers and ARSQO, Compensation Boards of Canada, OSPC. CSSD.qc.ca, Quebec, Commission de la Santé et de la Secu right du Travail. WCB.ab.ca, Alberta Workers' Compensation Board. wcb.mb.ca, Workers' Compensation Board of Manitoba. wcb.ns.ca, Nova Scotia Workers' Compensation Board. wcb.pe.ca, Prince Edward Island Workers' Compensation Board. wcb.yk.ca, Yukon Workers' Compensation, Health, and Safety Board. wcbsask.com, Saskatchewan Workers' Compensation Board. whscc.nb.ca/apcntap_e.asp, Workplace Health, Safety, and Compensation Commission of New Brunswick, Appeals Tribunal. whscc.nb.ca/index_e.asp, Workplace Health, Safety, and Compensation Commission of New Brunswick. whscc.nf.ca, Newfoundland Workplace Health, Safety, and Compensation Commission. worksafebc.com, British Columbia Workers' Compensation Board. wsiat.on.ca, Ontario Workplace Safety and Insurance Appeals Tribunal. wsib.on.ca/wsib/wsibsite.nsf/public/home_e, Ontario Workplace Safety and Insurance Board. Canada Occupational Health and Safety Associations and Organizations. ocbc.org, Association of Workers' Compensation Boards of Canada, OSPC, Canada, CA. bcrsp.ca, Board of Canadian Registered Safety Professionals, BCRSP, Canada, CA. safetycouncil.org, Canada Safety Council, CSC, Canada, CA. CASA.ca. Canadian Agricultural Safety Association, CASA, Canada, CA. CARSP.ca, Canadian Association of Road Safety Professionals, CARSP, Canada, CA. CCOHS.ca, Canadian Centre for Occupational Health and Safety, COHS, Canada, CA. CRBO.ca, Canadian Registration Board of Occupational Hygienists, CRBA, Canada, CA. CSSE.org, Canadian Society of Safety Engineering, CSSE, Canada, CA. SafeKid.org, Children's Safety Association of Canada, CSAC, Canada, CA. MASHA.on.ca, Mines and Aggregates Safety and Health Association, MASHA, Canada, CA. OEMAC.org, Occupational and Environmental Medical Association of Canada, EMAC, Canada, CA. OLOGCanada.org, Operation Lifesaver, OL, Highway/Railway Crossing Collisions and Train/Pedestrian Incidents. Canada, CA. TrafficInjuryResearch.com, Traffic Injury Research Foundation, TIRF, Canada, CA. Canada Occupational Health and Safety Associations and Organizations by Province. Alberta. SafetyCouncil.ab.ca, Alberta Safety Council, ASC. wcb.ab.ca, Workers' Compensation Board, WCB, Alberta. British Columbia. SafetyCouncil.bc.ca, British Columbia Safety Council, BCSC. FARSHA.bc.ca, Farm and Ranch Safety and Health Association, FARSHA. SafetyNetwork.bc.ca, Safety Network, SN, Road Construction and Maintenance. 6safetycouncil.com, Vancouver Island Safety Council, VISC, Victoria, British Columbia. wcb.bc.ca, Workers' Compensation Board, WCB, of British Columbia. Manitoba. Constructionsauthority.ca, Manitoba Construction Safety Association, MCSA. mfloc.mb.ca, Manitoba Federation of Labour Occupational Health Centre, MFLOC. mbsafety.org, Manitoba Safety Council, MSC. wcb.mb.ca, Workers' Compensation Board, WCB, of Manitoba. nbsafety.com, New Brunswick Safety Council, NBSC. WHSCC.nb.ca, Workplace Health, Safety and Compensation Commission of New Brunswick, WHSCC. Newfoundland and Labrador. SafetyCouncil.net, Newfoundland and Labrador Safety Council, NLSC. WHSCC.nf.ca, Workplace Health, Safety and Compensation Commission, WHSCC, of Newfoundland and Labrador. Northwest Territories. WCB.nt.ca, Workers' Compensation Board, WCB, Northwest Territories and Nunavut. Nova Scotia. NSSafety.ns.ca, Nova Scotia Safety Council, NSSC. ONANS.ca, Occupational Health Nurses Association of Nova Scotia, ONANS, Nova Scotia, Canada, CA. gov.ns.ca/WCAT, Workers' Compensation Appeals Tribunal, WCAT. WCB.ns.ca, Workers' Compensation Board, WCB, of Nova Scotia. Nunavut. WCB.nt.ca, Workers' Compensation Board, WCB, Northwest Territories and Nunavut. Ontario. CSAO.org, Construction Safety Association of Ontario, CSAO. EUSA.on.ca, Electrical and Utilities Safety Association of Ontario, EUSA. FarmSafety.ca, Farm Safety Association, FSA, Ontario, Canada. HCHSA.on.ca, Healthcare Health and Safety Association of Ontario, HSA. IAPA.on.ca, Industrial Accident Prevention Association, IAPA. IWH.on.ca, Institute for Work and Health, IWH. MASHA.on.ca, Mines and Aggregates Safety and Health Association, MASHA. MHSAO.com, Municipal Health and Safety Association of Ontario, MSAO. OCOW.on.ca, Occupational Health Clinics for Ontario Workers, OCOW. OFSWA.on.ca, Ontario Forestry Safe Workplace Association, OFSWAY. OSL.org, Ontario Safety League, OSL, Traffic Safety. OSA.com, Ontario Service Safety Alliance, OSA. WSIAT.on.ca, Ontario Workplace Safety and Insurance Appeals Tribunal, WSIAT. WSIB.on.ca, Ontario Workplace Safety and Insurance Board, WSIB. Youngworker.ca, Ontario Young Worker Awareness Program, YWAP, Occupational Health and Safety. PreventionDynamics.ca, Prevention Dynamics, Occupational Health and Safety. PPHSA.on.ca, Pulp and Paper Health and Safety Association, FSA. TIPC.ca, The Injury Prevention Coalition, TIPC, Toronto.ca, Toronto. Ontario, ON. THSAO.on.ca, Transportation Health and Safety Association of Ontario, THSAO. WSIB.on.ca, Workplace Safety and Insurance Board, WSIB. Prince Edward Island. WCB.pe.ca, Prince Edward Island Workers' Compensation Board. Saskatchewan. WCBSASK.com, Saskatchewan Workers' Compensation Board, WCB. Yukon. WCB.yk.ca, Yukon Workers' Compensation Health and Safety Board.